Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I wanted to have a bit of a chat about what I feel is a major misconception and myth that has been spread around the Division 2 community. One that I've seen perpetuated not only here on my own channel, but across the entire community as well. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this is overly harmful. It's not like anybody's hurting the game or anybody else by believing or spreading this idea. I just don't think it's true. And I have a feeling that a lot of new players especially might get easily swayed by this myth, causing them to miss out on some pretty awesome gameplay experiences. You might be wondering what the hell I'm talking about. I am talking about global events in the Division 2. Now that might give you an idea of what kind of myth I'm talking about, and that's the notion that so many share, which is that Golden Bullet is the only good or worthwhile global event in the game. Now, I'm not here today to try and say it's not amazing. It is. Or that it's not the best of the 6. It probably is, but so many others believe that the other 5 are complete garbage and they never even bother playing them at all. And I've legitimately seen that drive new players away from even trying them out. They just sit around and wait for Golden Bullet. Now, I've always been of the opinion that many more of the global events are indeed good and fun. I just never really had the right idea or moment to share any of those thoughts. Well, that's what today is for. As you can see in the background, I was recently messing around with the Guardians global event that ran this last week, and I had some serious fun. I captured some gnarly gameplay of me tearing things up with the new GR9 LMG and a fun build I paired with it, so I figured why not make a video out of this, because I want everybody to hear and know that Golden Bullet is not your only opportunity to have fun with a global event in this game. So this isn't going to be a super long video, but I just wanted to quickly chat about this subject, and then I'll run some gameplay afterwards so you can see some of the true unobstructed carnage unfold. Alright, let's start here. Of course, event modifiers and how, quote, fun each of them are going to be is subjective, no doubt, but I feel the majority of people across the board exaggerate the margin of viability between the different global events, saying Golden Bullet is the best and everything else is several times worse, and I just don't agree with that notion. So let me run down the list quickly of how I personally rank each of the global events, not really in terms of fun or enjoyment, but purely based off of how much benefit you can gain from them in terms of moment-to-moment gameplay, like how much easier can I make combat, as well as how easy it is to obtain said benefit and that power. The best, without question, is Golden Bullet. Like I said, people aren't wrong for saying it's the best, it's just that by how much of a margin it's good gets exaggerated in my opinion. Obtaining the Golden Bullet buff grants you insane damage, RPM, and reload speed, and all you have to do is kill the enemy that has it. Meanwhile, the buff it provides them is definitely noticeable, but it's not nearly as impactful when the damage differential between players and NPCs is already so high. Okay, so Golden Bullet is number 1, and let's say, for explanation's sake, it ranks a 100% on the efficiency meter, just to compare it to some of these other ones. Well, while many would argue that the remaining 5 rank 40% or below, I have a bit of a different take. I would say that the number 2 spot goes to Guardians, which you are watching right now in the background. In concept, it's actually quite similar to Golden Bullet. The buff you obtain gives nearly identical benefits. It refreshes on kills, the same as GB. The only difference that makes it slightly less effective is that the enemy Guardian makes all other members of their fire team completely immune from damage until you take them down, which can make them a lot more lethal and which can land you in some tight situations. So, overall, I'd give Guardians an 85% efficiency rating. Again, in stark contrast to some people's opinions where it would be way lower. Then I'd say number 3 is Reanimated. Now this event nets you much less of a, huge drastic damage buff like the other 2 do, but it also has quite a bit less threat to it as a result. The reanimation mechanic isn't too hard to deal with in my opinion. The Death Cloud heals and provides some good buffs. I'd give Reanimated a solid 80%. And this is one I often see people saying they hate a lot. I really don't think it's that bad at all. I have a lot of fun with it, so definitely give it a try next time it's in the rotation. Alright, so those first 3 I listed, personally, I feel like are all incredibly solid global events. Are they all different? Yes. Are some of them more fun and efficient than others? Yes, but hopefully you can begin to see that the Golden Bullet or bust myth just isn't quite true. Alright, now the remaining 3, Polarity Switch, I would put at number 4, probably somewhere around the 65% efficiency range. This one is a bit lower than the rest because it takes a lot of micromanaging to maintain your buffs and not get penalized, and it's a bit too easy to accidentally hit the wrong target in my opinion, but that all said, it still offers a great damage boost, and as long as you have a little bit of patience, you're going to get a great reward. At number 5, I would put SHD Exposed, maybe around a 40% efficiency rating. To be completely honest, this is where I would say it starts becoming fair to criticize as far as it being a pretty punishing and not very worthwhile event. I would argue that SHD Exposed sits right on the edge. It's definitely not awful, but it's also not great. But compared to the next one on the list, it's still got its redeeming qualities. Mainly, I still find it fun to use the melee to transfer the stacks and whatnot, but it's completely fair to say that SHD Exposed is overly punishing, and it really doesn't offer a worthwhile reward to compensate for that challenge. And then in the number 6 last place slot, we have the only event which I agree with people can be fairly labeled as just bad. And that, of course, is the Hollywood Global event, which I'm not even going to bother giving a rating for. It's just not good. In concept, this thing isn't that bad. It's meant to encourage explosions and you get some cool effects and whatnot out of that. I'd say the main issues with it is that it's way too punishing for any non-explosive approach. The benefits you get for using an explosive build aren't nearly good enough, and it's promoting a playstyle and build type that we simply don't have enough of to be encouraging. You know what I mean? And whereas all the other global events are like, do this specific thing and you get a great reward for it, Hollywood is a lot more like, use this specific type of build or you're going to fail. So, well, the whole point of this video is to dispel the myth that every non-Golden Bullet GE is bad. Even I have to admit that Hollywood does unfortunately live up to that stereotype. But my whole point with this is that anytime I see global event discussions happening online, people try and make the remaining 5 events out to be just as bad as I personally feel Hollywood is, and I really do not believe that that's true. I think Hollywood is quite poor. I think the argument could be made to include SHD Exposed into that category, but truly, Polarity Switch, Reanimated, and Guardians are all worthwhile events to partake in my opinion. They're not all equally efficient or rewarding, they're not all Golden Bullet, but I really do think they are all worthwhile. And given how lucrative global events can be with the Star Vendor, I hope this video can encourage some newer players and vets alike to give these things a try. You're not going to like each of them equally, you know, all of this stuff is subjective, but at least give it a try, because it's not as bad as people say. Don't let public opinion dictate things, go give them a try, make your own determination. Alright, that's all I've got for today on this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little breakdown and explanation. I'm not going to do my usual outro because, as I mentioned at the start, I want to play some pretty crazy clips here, I have to say, at the end of some Guardian carnage. I hope you've enjoyed the background footage while I've been talking, and I hope you'll enjoy the following clips. If you're curious, here's the build that I've been running in this video. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video on it. I've been having a lot more fun with the GR9 than I anticipated I would, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got. Let me hear your thoughts on the global event discussion in the comments below, and I hope to see you racking up those stars next time a GE comes around. Thanks for watching, guys. RogueGold, out.